Live from the beautiful sun-kissed island of Kauai, it's Animal Talking. Tonight, join Gary and his guests, Brie Larson, Dr. Lupo, Friskk, and musical guest, Kenny Fong. And now, because with a great talk show comes great responsibility, here's your host, Gary Whitta. Yay! Yay! We're back. We are back. Let me just get the jukebox on here. We want to hear some music. We want to hear some game sounds. And I want to turn that off. Got to do a little technical checkaroonies here. Make sure we're all good. Welcome to so many of you. My goodness, it looks like we're on the Twitch front page again tonight. And even if we weren't, I just know we're going to have a big crowd tonight because we have some very, very big guests. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first of all, the person without whom I could not do the show, my band leader, my producer, my confidant, Adam Nickerson. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Just ate a few hot dogs, probably too many.
How many's too many?
Well, I lied in the staff room and I said 2, but then I actually ate 3. I was just too embarrassed.
Fair enough. Look, we've got such a packed show tonight. I kind of want to get straight to it. I got a couple of little things that I want to do right before we bring on our first guest. Couple of things. If this is your first time watching Animal Talking and you're curious what this is all about, yes, we built a late night talk show inside Animal Crossing. And it's pretty cool. We've had some really great guests on in the past. We've got great guests tonight. We'll have great guests on in the future. I hope you'll stick around. If you're curious, you want to watch more, please go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/GWhitta. It's right up there in the top right-hand corner of the screen. That's where all of our episodes are archived, clips, highlights, everything. The show goes out live on Twitch, but then the next day we put the VOD onto YouTube, and that's how you can watch it at your leisure, because we all have busy schedule. Well, not really so much these days, but you can watch it whenever you want, basically. Please, there's the link right there in the chat, courtesy of Nightbot. Please do go check out youtube.com/GWhitta and subscribe to Animal Talking. You'll also find other shows there, including our new show, our new Animal Crossing show, which just started this past weekend and is going to be back again this Saturday. We have a new show called Dungeon Crossing, where we play Dungeons and Dragons inside Animal Crossing. Myself, Shannon Woodward, a former guest and friend of the show, Adam Nickerson, of course, Brian Gray, aka Urban Bohemian. We're all learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons thanks to the wonderful Tanya DePass, aka Cypher of Tyr. She's a very, very talented and experienced Dungeons and Dragons player and dungeon master, and she's teaching us how to play Dungeons and Dragons. We're just embarking on our first campaign, and that all happens inside Animal Crossing. It's very, very cool. So subscribe to youtube.com/GWhitta. That's where you'll find that. Or if you want to watch it live, come back Saturday morning, this coming Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons inside Animal Crossing live, and that's going to be really cool. So that's one little plug-a-rooney. I'm going to get a couple more out of the way. You know what, Adam? People come on this show all the time, and they plug their wares. They plug their books. They plug their albums, their tours. I'm going to get in a quick plug right now. Did you know, Adam, that not only was this week my birthday, but also as a very nice birthday present, my graphic novel finally came out, published by Image Comics. Let me see if I can make this work. Yes, Oliver, co-created with Derek Robertson, who co-created The Boys and Transmetropolitan and Happy and all kinds of amazing stuff. Oliver is now in stores. You can go get my graphic novel. I don't feel any shame at all about plugging this. Like all my guests get to plug stuff. Not. I am going to plug my thing. I don't know if one of our mods is able to drop the link into the chat, but it should be in the show notes. Please do drop it in there. I would love you to go check out my comic, and that is really the most blatant plug that I'm going to do. Here I am. I'm back again. Let me see. What else do we have? Oh, one last thing.
I would never shamelessly plug anything.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's just not get into it. One other thing. Today was a big day in video game news. We are a talk show that takes place inside a video game. We love video games over here. And today, of course, was a big day because Microsoft took the wraps off their Xbox Series X lineup of upcoming games. Very exciting. And what perfect timing, because I, along with our hype man, the guy that you heard at the top of the show there, the incredible Snowbike Mike, and the wonderful, talented Alana Pierce from Funhouse, have a new podcast called The Kind of Funny Xcast. And it is, Adam, I swear, I've got to find some way to stop you from doing that. You're so craven with so blatant with these plugs. Yes, go to the Nintendo Switch eShop and please do buy Ding Dong XL. It's a very good game. There you go. I'm happy to help you out. And then just a quick plug for the hashtag KFX, the Kind of Funny Xcast. We just put one episode up on YouTube. It's also on Spotify, and as the great Greg Miller would say, podcast services around the world. I do want to share with you just real quick, because I'm sorry, I can't remember who did this. I must remember to give them a shout out. But they did this wonderful animation. I got to show you this little intro animation here, Adam, for the Kind of Funny Xcast. It's really cool. Check this out. It's like it just gives you shivers. Like you instantly feel like, oh yeah, we're in the Xbox world. Check this out. That is so cool. I'm sorry. I just absolutely love that. So yeah, go check out KFX. Go check out the Kind of Funny Xcast. We'll have a big episode coming up this Saturday morning where Mike, Alana, and myself talk about all of the things that were revealed today on the Xbox showcase. And then before we get to our first guest, she's coming right up in just like 30 seconds. Just a general thing. We want to try and start getting some more questions from the chat. If you have a question for one of whoever our current guest is on the show, please do drop them in the chat. And then I've got people that are kind of picking out the interesting ones or the good ones and relaying them to me so that I can ask them to our guests. And we're going to be able to put that to the test right here, right now, because our first guest is coming up right now on the show. She is quite, I mean, there's no question about it. By far the most requested guest we've had on this show. We're so lucky to have her here. Please, let me go get behind my desk here first. Adam, if you wouldn't mind.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I gotta get behind. I'm so excited, Adam.
I can't go any further,
Oh my God, I need you to move. You know what? I'm just going to go this way. I could have done this all along. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Okay, now we're ready. Now we're in position. You've got me all of a flutter, Adam.
Me?
Please
do anything.
Please welcome to the show the wonderful, the talented, the incredible Brie Larson. Is she getting down here? She's here. She is here. What a treat.
Everybody.
Oh my goodness,
Thank
Brie.
you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you. I totally forgot to put shoes on, so luckily I had these clogs in my pocket. So here I am. Hello. Great to be here.
You have to tell me about this wonderful dress.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me just step up. Yes.
No sea bass, please. Okay. What is going? I feel like this feels like a very Met Gala kind of thing. I feel like you're making a statement here. What statement are you making with your choice of attire tonight?
Right. So this is based off of, I believe, the fashion brand Victor and Rolf, and they had this real collection of dresses that had things that said no photos, please. And it was very controversial. So I thought that having this little number that says no sea bass, please, really played into both my love of fashion, my lack of being able to explore fashion in quarantine, while also a nod to the game itself.
I love it.
No sea bass, please. Yeah.
So cute.
Thank you.
Yes, come back on the couch. Take a load off those clogs.
Thanks.
Brie, you are.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know, but you're an Oscar-winning actor. You've starred in multiple Hollywood blockbusters, including, let's not forget, the biggest box office hit of all time. And now, here you are in Animal Talking, the premier Animal Crossing-based late-night talk show on the internet. Surely it must feel like it's all been leading up to this moment.
It is. I've been waiting 10 years for this. All of the time I've spent poring over my Animal Crossing books and cheat sheet guides has led me to this moment. So thank you. Thank you. I feel like I found my tribe.
We're gonna. Oh, you very much have. We're gonna get to that. I want to talk to you about your love of Animal Crossing. When you came over to the island the other day for your sound check and pre-interview, you were delightful. In fact, our stage manager Kate was so taken with you. She gifted you a gift that we've only ever given to one other guest on the history of this show. The most expensive item in the game, the 1.3 million bell crown that we previously had given only to T-Pain, and I must say it looks very fetching on you.
Thank you so much.
You
Yeah,
didn't
it was a
bring
big
it, did you?
surprise. I did. Wait, will it let me put it on?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I guess
hang
I was
on.
able to.
You, I mean, you have a
gave
very
it.
nice tiara. I just don't know how big you want to go.
Oh, I mean, I tried it on for sure, but it I felt like maybe it was too much, but here we go.
Let's try it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's too much at all.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is the right move.
I think that's wonderful. You've joined T-Pain in a very exclusive club. Brie, you are no stranger to talk shows. I mean, you obviously done them all, you know, because you're a big star. But you have also. What's so funny?
I'm just. We're in a show in Animal Crossing.
I know. I always say to my guests, I can't promise you much. I can't promise you that nothing's going to go horribly wrong, because it does. That happens on the regular around here. But I can promise you only one thing, and it is a promise that I have somehow managed to keep to 50 plus something guests now without fail. You will have a fun time on this show. Are you having a fun time so far?
Oh yes, it's been a delight through and through. I mean, even the pre-interview, it was just the highlight. It was the highlight of my day for sure. It's just so sweet.
Here is a picture of you when you hosted the Jimmy Kimmel show. Here you are with Jamie Foxx. What was that experience like? You got to be a talk show host. Were you nervous? Did you feel like you had to learn a new skill set very quickly? Did you take to it? How did you enjoy that?
I was nervous just because I didn't know what skills that I have were going to be applicable to that. And the hardest part I found was wrapping up, was trying to find that sweet spot. I think it was like 7 minutes for each guest, of trying to find where that highlight moment was, where you end the conversation, wrap it up within the timeline. So that was the most difficult.
I relate
and I'm
to
a
that.
pretty competitive. I'm a competitive person. So by the time it was done, and everyone was like, "Thank you so much, for doing this," I was like, "Please let me come back and do this again. I can do better." There was like only a brief moment where I was like, "This was great." I was like, "Oh, let's do this again." But it was super fun, and it just was great to have the opportunity. They really let me help build the show and talk with them really early on about what the monologue was going to be, and they're also funny and sweet, and pick the guests, and it was cool. I mean, I think for me at this point, I was so interested in like my craft and in my work, and it's been so nice recently to kind of dive into things that are just more about spreading joy and silliness, that it doesn't always have to be so task oriented for myself,
I'm relating to everything you're saying right now, particularly that whole thing about struggling to get out an interview. On Animal Talking, our interviews go much longer. On Tonight Show or whatever, you might talk to a guest for 10 minutes. Here we've had guests on for like an hour. And, because
oh, really? Amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a Sting, who was only supposed to be with us for 15 minutes, was with us for a full hour. And part of I have to take responsibility for this. Part of the reason why is because I said to Sting, like I said to you earlier, hey, when you need to get out of here, just tell me you've got a text from Dodo Airlines and your flight's about to leave. I told that to Sting. He said that during the interview because he needed to go. And I was having so much fun talking to him. I just ignored him and just kept talking, kept interviewing him until eventually he got out of there. But he was a great sport. He was a great guest.
What did Sting wear?
What did Adam? Do you remember what he? Oh, I know. I remember because it was a big process. Like he had a very specific leather jacket that he wanted to wear. He really put our wardrobe department to work, getting his avatar looking just right.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but he was great. I'll send you the YouTube clip afterwards. He sat on that couch right where you are right now. Your butt is exactly where Sting's virtual butt was. And
this is amazing.
And he didn't plan to do this, but I heard him, I heard a guitar twang in the background. I was like, "Do you have a guitar there, Sting?" And he was like, "Yeah, do you want me to play something?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he ended up doing Every Breath You Take, Roxanne, Message in a Bottle, and Fields of Gold.
What?
I'm telling you, I got to send you the clip. This show's no joke, Brie.
This is crazy. I had no tricks up my sleeve. I had no musical songs prepared. I just was really winging it. So gosh, really grateful to be here sitting in this couch with y'all. I didn't know what kind of operation I had walked into.
Well, now listen, you have walked into a big operation, and if you did have fun guest hosting for Jimmy Kimmel, and if you do end up really enjoying your experiences on the show, let me just put this out there right now. You are welcome to come back and guest host Animal Talking anytime you want.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I absolutely would love it.
Okay,
I feel like this, I mean, that's even taking an extra layer to me saying that everything in my life has led to this moment. I mean, I can't believe it.
This is just the beginning of your Animal Talking journey, not the end. We had Danny Trejo on the show, and he enjoyed being on here so much. Now he's like a regular correspondent. He does a bit every week on the show.
He does?
He does. He has a segment called Danny's Diary where he takes us around his island, and Adam goes and catches fish with him, and he puts butterflies in his pockets. It's adorable.
This is wonderful. See, this is the thing. I mean, I know we talked about this before, but like, I'm just so grateful that this game came out at this time, because look at the people that it's connected me with.
What it's doing. It's magical.
Isn't it wonderful? It's wonderful. It's such a, and I know that there's, lots of other games that serve lots of purposes. That's why I love video games, but this one is just, it really gets me. It really gets me in my soul, and it's inspired me. I mean, I have a garden now. I planted fruit trees because of this game, because I was getting so obsessive with it. I was like, maybe I should plant a tree in real life, Brie. So I have that now.
I want to talk to you about your whole Animal Crossing journey, because it's a fascinating one. But first I want to talk to you about your new YouTube channel, because in much the same way that I have dipped my toe into the internet waters here during the quarantine, you have done that as well. You've launched your own YouTube channel just recently. It's taken off like a rocket. I'm trying not to be annoyed by this, but like, I'm still struggling to get like 20,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. You had your silver play button for 100,000 subs. What, in like 2 days? You just like shot off like a rocket with this YouTube channel. And now you're at like something 300 plus K subscribers. Let's drop the link to Brie's YouTube channel into the chat so that we can plus those numbers up a little bit. What I would like to do, I'm going to talk about it in a moment, is just toss through a little clip here. I'm going to show just the first like 30 or 60 seconds or so of your YouTube debut. So bear with me right here. And we're going to go over to monitor 2, and let's see a little bit of Brie's YouTube debut.
Hi, I'm Brie Larson. Oh God. Hi, I'm Brie Larson. I'm an actor. You might know me from Captain Marvel, or maybe you know me from nothing. Maybe you just randomly from the algorithm clicked on this, but regardless, hello, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Why am I starting a YouTube channel? Great question. YouTube has been a place that I have learned so much, whether it's been like how to use my printer, or it's been watching like how to be a considerate activist. This is like the place to talk about things that are important and that matter. It doesn't mean that there isn't also silly content, that there's ways for me to express myself personally, but there will also be deep conversations, anti-racist rhetoric, inclusive content. So with all that said, the following video is just me getting warmed up and feeling this out and getting to talk with a lot of really brilliant, awesome creators. So here it is.
Hello?
Hi!
Oh, hi! Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to record this.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
All right, I got to come back from that. I could easily watch that whole thing because it's all delightful. I just showed the first minute. I wanted to get to that first minute mark there because the very first person you spoke to on your YouTube adventure was a good friend of Animal Talking, the lovely Justine. She's been on the show. And,
really? Yeah, she's awesome.
You reached out to all the right people in terms of kind of getting the expert knowledge on how to get your channel off on the right foot. Justine's wonderful, and it looks like you made connections with some really cool YouTubers as well, other than Justine.
I did, yeah. It was amazing because I don't know. I just felt this pull to do it, to start this channel, but I didn't fully know why. And so that seemed like the first place to start, was to talk to the people that have just been incredible in this medium, in this field, and I felt so inspired after every conversation. What an amazing community of people that I met. People that some of them I had been fans of for a while and finally got to speak with. And Justine, who also at the time that we talked had something like 600 hours on Animal Crossing, by the way. So she's deep. She's deep in it too.
My wife would call her a lightweight.
Really? At 600 hours?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not even close, to be honest. As someone who loves the game, I like totally fell off the last couple of weeks. I was going pretty hard, and then, like I said, I was just like, maybe I need to plant a tree in real life, and also there's just like so much going on in the world that I felt like I needed to focus my attentions on something else. But it's been a treat. It's been a real treat to come back. But anyway.
Great.
Yeah, I got to speak with some really sweet, wonderful people, and it's been an exciting, fun time.
Brie, I want to move on with the interview, but Adam's going to stand there staring at me until I acknowledge him. Can you please acknowledge what Adam is wearing?
Oh, I can't see. Oh, have you been wearing that? You haven't been wearing that the whole time. You had your headphones on, right?
Yeah, I just changed into this. It's pretty great.
It's not bad.
Hey, this is
it's
really good.
It's not a bad
Kate
custom
found
job.
this
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. We'll hook you up with the custom code if you decide you want your own.
Yeah, but what
not
about
a
the
problem.
boots? I feel like the boots are pretty perfect with it.
Yeah,
Like those aren't part of the.
boots were
That's not. You
only
can't do
red
custom
ones I
shoes,
had.
right?
Yeah,
They
they were
almost
the
look
only
like
red
really
ones I had.
Iron Man
They're-
boots or something, but they work. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
All right, Adam. That's enough.
Gosh.
Adam, that's enough.
I
Hogging the
will,
limelight, Adam.
Hang on. I was just
Oh
gonna
no,
say
hang
I
on.
did
He's got to hog
notice
it a
in
little
the
more.
chat. Someone suggested we do a when Danny's had enough of me, I'll just go over to Bree's and we'll do Bree's besties. And then she'll take me around her island and introduce me to all her friends.
Adam, you don't do the same gag
Yay.
twice. You do the next gag. Bree's going to guest host the show. That's a whole new frontier for us. This is.
Oh no,
this
it's
is-
fine. You can come over. If
All right,
you
we'll do-
want.
okay, we'll do both.
Totally.
We'll do
I've
both.
got. I do have cute neighbors. I'll tell you that. I really like my neighbors.
I want to.
They are
talk to
passive
you.
aggressive, but it seems like everybody gets passive aggressive neighbors.
Oh, they do. I mean, I spend so much time down here in my basement doing my show. I neglect my island and my neighbors, and they always like give me grief when I go up and finally talk to them when I emerge from my basement.
Ugh. And they don't understand. They don't understand what you're doing
They
down
don't
here.
understand.
You know.
The struggle is real, Brie. They don't get it.
Yeah.
Brie, you did a very good job in that first minute of your first video of answering the question of like why you wanted to create a channel and what kind of content we're going to see on it. I have to ask you, how much of a role did the lockdown play in making this possible? You usually obviously be so busy, but now you actually have time to pursue other interests. We've seen lots of other celebrities doing their own projects during the lockdown. We had Josh Gad on last week, who does this amazing YouTube show called Reunited Apart, where he brings together the cast of like old 80s and 90s movies. I've got this dumb talk show. Is your YouTube channel, is this a long-term project for you? Do you see this once, if and when the lockdown ends, do you think you'll keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. You know, interestingly enough, I actually had decided to do this before the lockdown. And so it's actually just only assisted in what I was already going to do. And it's been a bit of a shift. Like some of the things that I wanted to make obviously aren't possible right now. So now I'm trying to figure out how to move forward. And I've been asking those who are following me and fans to leave, comments and tell me what it is that they'd like to see, because I'm so curious to know. And a huge part of it was just wanting to kind of take some of the air out of the preciousness of maybe the image that people see of me, because I was feeling like, especially coming off of like the Captain Marvel press tour, it's like this larger than life imagery, and it's so fun. And I love getting to do all of that and dress up and all of those things. But like, I don't brush my hair in real life, and I don't wear shoes. I don't even remember to wear shoes in the game. Like, it's just, it's my day to day is pretty different than what people see. And so I just felt like, as much as I care about representation on screen, this feels like an extension of that, and saying, there's a lot of sides of me. And a lot of the time, I think people see the successful moments as they're seeing the premiere, they're seeing the movie coming out. And that's super fun, and that's definitely part of my life, but there's another part too. And I just want to honor that a little bit, and get that out there. So I also don't have to feel like I'm upholding some sort of image that's not wholly true,
Right.
It feels good to me. Like, it feels good to kind of just rest into it and be like, yeah, this is also true.
And
they work together.
What I love about your channel is it really just show that side of you. It's like, I'm going to show you a clip in a minute here where you're at home in your crumpled pajamas. It's very just kind of like bumming around the house with Brie, which I think is great. I love that. And I love the fact that after you're bumming around the house with Brie, that's why they pay me the big bucks. So after this initial, Hello World introductory YouTube video that you did that was very successful, and I think this says a lot about you and where your passions lie, that the very first video you chose to do after that was showing people around your Animal Crossing island and talking about Animal Crossing. I'm going to show a little clip right now where people can see for themselves what your and we're dropping a link into the chat right now. But I'm going to pop over here and let's just watch like a little bit of Brie's first Animal Crossing video. Here we go.
Hello everybody, my name is Brie Larson. This is my channel, and here I am making my first gaming video on National Gaming Day, which for gamers is irrelevant because every day is National Gaming Day. Anyway, I was gonna show you guys my island that I've been working on for a very long time, but I set it up on my Nintendo Switch Lite, and no shade, it doesn't allow you to share it up on the thingy so that it can go into the other thingy and I can record it. And also can't transfer your game from one Switch to another yet.
I'm gonna go to another clip in a moment that shows you actually playing the game. But I just want to say, Brie, in your opening 30 seconds there, thank you so much for calling Nintendo out on some of this stuff. You can't transfer your characters. There's so many, like, we love Nintendo and we love this game, but at the same time, they do so many things that make you want to pull your hair out. Thank you for drawing attention to these issues, because maybe now that Brie Larson has put a spotlight on them, Nintendo might actually do something.
You know me, I am here to talk about the hot button issues, and I will always stand for what is right.
Listen, if I drop my Switch and it breaks, Animal Talking's done. I don't have a backup.
Wow.
When my 8-year-old daughter asks me to borrow my Switch, like, she's got the future of my talk show in her hands because there's no backup.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. This is very dangerous. Nintendo.
It's the worst.
Nintendo. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I had no idea. And I did something so dumb that I regret, which is that I got the Animal Crossing Switch, and I already had opened my Switch Lite, and I did the thing where I was like, oh, I want to keep the Nintendo, the Animal Crossing one nice. So I'm going to keep it in the box. I was not ready. Yes. So I did it on my Switch Lite, and here we go. This is what I get.
Not dockable, which is also really annoying.
Yes.
You can't connect it to the TV. All these things that hopefully they'll fix. I'm going to show another clip. This is actually, and I was scrubbing through this video, and I picked this 30 seconds. I mean, it's all delightful. All 17 minutes and 29 seconds of it is delightful. But I wanted to show this one because I thought just this next 30 seconds really kind of captured your, I'm going to say, childlike glee that seems to come out of you when you play this game. It's the same thing, Adam, that we saw with Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo is this badass, guy, and machete and all this stuff. But when he plays Animal Crossing, Brie, it's like he turns into a kid. And I feel like the game has that power to bring it out of all of us. I'm going to go to this clip right now, and let's see Brie showing us a little bit around her Animal Crossing island.
Oh yes. What was I saying? So we would fight over the game. Oh, look at that bug. What the heck? Like, who could hate on this game? Look at that pile of books. Dang. Look at these mushrooms. Oh my gosh, these neighbors are cute. Christmas. Oh, so I was telling you a story. So the only way that my mom could get us to slow down with this game was she had to make rules for us with it. Whoever finished their homework first got to play first. So it was a great tool to get us to finish our homework quickly. Oh my gosh, our neighbors are so cute. Party people. Wait, what?
I could watch that video all day. And it seems very, I think this is why people are responding to the video, Breeze. You come across as this is just you playing the game and just having a genuine love for Animal Crossing. There's nothing performative going on here. This is just a camera that happens to be pointed at you as you love playing this game.
Yeah, and that's the other piece of it too, is the idea of having a place for me to make things that isn't about being hey, my name's Brie Larson, buy blah 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 product. It's it feels so nice to be able to cultivate an environment where we're just you're hanging with me. I want to learn more about people too. I'm such a curious person that I'm excited too about who I'm gonna meet. I've already met so many interesting people. Look at where I am now, sitting on this couch with y'all. So it's been cool. The internet's wild,
I know, right? You're meeting some very interesting people. Well, one interesting person, Adam, I can't speak for him, but
we're not sure.
No, The jury is still out. Okay, so here's the thing. We love it when this show started as a way for me to hang out with my friends who love to play Animal Crossing. And since then, we've had some celebrities on who don't play Animal Crossing, but we're happy to have them anyway. But my favorite kind of guests will always be the Animal Crossing true believers. And Brie Larson, you are an Animal Crossing true believer. You are an ACOG. You go all the way back to the GameCube version, the very first one.
Yeah, it's true. I was heavily addicted to that one, and it was like, when I think back on that time, it's like the best of times and the worst of times, you know? It was like, I think that was like when me and my sister really started arguing more, because it was like a full battle to play. And so my mom had to create all these rules of like, okay, whoever finished their homework first. And then it turned into like me and my sister, which like now looking back on it, like I was in junior high. Like it wasn't like I was like a super young person. And I'd be like in class, like finishing my homework, trying to get my homework done in class so that it would be done by the time I got home so that I could beat my younger sister to play Animal Crossing on GameCube.
You
like,
sent me
it doesn't make me feel good to say that out loud. You know what I mean? Like I'm not proud of that.
You sent me a picture that you told me your mother sent you this picture. You forwarded it on to me. Here, I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. Here is, and this is proof that Brie Larson is no joke when it comes to the Animal Crossing. Here is her original Nintendo Power, Nintendo GameCube player's guide. And as you can see, it's lovingly dog-eared. You've clearly thumbed through this thing countless times.
The cover page it doesn't even stay on. It's separate from the rest of it. There are many pages. You can't even pick it up. Like the pages are falling out of it. And my mom sent it to me saying, "Hey, I found this in the garage. Would this help with your game?" And I was like, "No, Mom, you don't get it." So it's 10 years old.
It's so cute. Okay, so tell me, this is honestly, mate, I love it when people want to come on and talk about their projects and their movies and albums and books, but really I just want to talk to people about Animal Crossing. Brie, what's going on your island? Who are your neighbors? How do you like to play the game? Are you a big terraformer? Are you beefing with any of your neighbors? Give me the latest on the Brie Larson Animal Crossing life.
Yeah, so I like I said, I hadn't played for about 3 weeks, and I probably would have started playing sooner if I didn't have this intense anxiety that my neighbors were going to be mad at me when I came back. So I definitely like held off on returning because I was like, man, like they get so mad at me even if I'm like Phoebe gives me so much, like she talks so much smack. So I'm like, I don't know if I can handle going back. So I did. And actually everyone was super chill. And then I felt kind of upset that no one cared that I was gone for so long. So that says another thing about my personality. But it's pretty chill. I want to do another upgrade on my house. I'm trying to get another room because I want to build a gym. Like I have all of the pieces to do like a boxing gym. I just don't have the room yet. So I'm just slightly off on my bells for that. I'm able to terraform. I haven't done too much with it. It really makes me nervous. When I got even like the ability to make fences, I was like, whoa, this is just way too intense. Like, this is crazy. Because, remember, like I played this game 10 years ago. It was like, you didn't have these options. It was like very simple. It was like you fish, you collect fruit. So it's just like, I do feel a little bit like, an old person with this game where I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like swim in the water. This is insane. No, the boundary is at the shore, people. Like we don't go in the water. We don't know what's in there. So I'm excited. I've been excited about all the updates that they've done. I really love the art element to the museum.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how to spot a fake? Can you spot a fake?
Some of them are pretty hard. And I've actually seen on Twitter there's been people that are like, I literally have an art degree. I went to college for this and I just bought a fake Mona Lisa and it's so good to me. So I don't know.
I go to the websites that will tell you what the differences are. That's the best way to do it. Brie, you mentioned earlier that you touched on not having enough bells, and it does give me the opportunity to ask you a question from the chat. Alicia Dietz in the chat asks the question, Brie, do you take part in the stock market? Do you dabble in turnips?
I do. My boyfriend was kind of getting sick of hearing me talk about it, so I've been keeping it on the DL because he was like, I don't want to hear. Because he would be like, you get so focused on the game when you play, and sometimes I talk and you don't hear me. And I'm like, well, I'm running out of time. Like, I'm trying to find a place to sell my turnips. Like, I'm about to lose thousands and thousands of bells. Like, this is intense. I've really loved the community that's been built around the stock market, so I feel much more comfortable playing now. So yes, I have dabbled, but it depends on what time I wake up. I'm not gonna like set an alarm to buy turnips. You know what I mean?
We will. I've overslept on a Sunday morning, realized it's only 15 minutes. The Daisy May still on the island, like bolted out of bed to grab her before.
What's the
before
best
she
deal
leaves.
you've done? Like, have you gotten a really like worth it deal? Because I feel like mine has
yeah.
been like okay, but I haven't like really cleaned up.
The best deal that I've done, you can get a low price. Getting a low price isn't really that big a deal. Anything under like 95 is good, but then what you're really looking for is that high sell price. And if you are, I mean, if you are someone of any kind of public persona or profile, you can totally leverage that and get people to get your fans on Twitter or whatever to send you like the sweet dodo codes for like the $600 turnip price.
I know, but listen, I'm not trying to bring that into this game here. I just want to be your common Animal Crossing player, working hard for my bells.
If you're not going to trade on your celebrity status if you're not going to trade on your celebrity status to get good turnip prices, what's the point? What is the point of it all? Brie, I was gonna ask you if you're a big gamer overall, but then when I was watching your Animal Crossing video, there's a stunning anecdote that you tell, and I had to ask you about it. In your video, you said that you once threw an ex-boyfriend out of your house because he thought you were playing too much Super Mario Galaxy and taking it too seriously, and you chucked him out. Which, by the way, is the right thing to do. But you got to tell me that. You got to tell me about that story.
I'd like to defend myself here. Okay, this is going to be a flimsy defense. It was the final, it was Super Mario Galaxy, and there were these like extra levels. So I'd already beat the game. This is not helping my case at all. This is sounding worse. I'd already beat the game, but there was there was 2 extra levels, and it was this really difficult level where you're in like the void of space, and there's this grid that have these it's like a grid, and when you stepped on it, it would flip and rotate the tile over.
I remember.
And you had to try and get all of it. And I think it was like a face of Mario, I think. But you had to try and jump around. Anyway, it was horrible. And I was up way too late playing it, getting obsessive, cursing. And yeah, my boyfriend at the time, he said, I think you're taking this too seriously. And I remember like my head like snapping as I turned to look at him, and I was like, what did you just say to me? He was like, I just think you're playing the game, taking the game too seriously. And I was like, get out of my house, which by the way was my parents. It was my parents' house. Okay. I was not an adult at all. Yeah. And I did kick him out, and I do think about it. I don't think I ever apologized for it. So
by the way, you don't have to defend yourself at all. There's like 8,000 people in the chat right now who are all furiously agreeing with you, saying you did the right thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. I knew I
were trying to get the purple coins.
This is a big deal, you guys. So yeah, that did happen, and it's something that I do think about from time to time, because there's these moments that like you look back on and you're like, wow, it's a quintessential me moment, and I do feel that is one of them.
One of the things that another really interesting thing that I learned about your gaming life when we exchanged friend codes as part of getting you on the show here, I was able to see your profile, and your Nintendo Switch friend profile, of course, tells me what games you've played and how many hours you have in each game. And it turns out, who knew, your most played game, you have 150 hours in. You have. Brie Larson, you have 150 hours.
My dodo plane is here. I gotta go.
You have sorry, the flight's delayed. You have 150 hours in Fortnite.
Oh,
that's a lot of hours. And so you play on the Nintendo Switch. So I am very tickled by the fact that there are all these guys out there who have been murdered in Fortnite.
Jerry Springer.
They have been murdered by Captain Marvel in Fortnite, and they don't even know. That's what I love about this.
It's true.
Are you any good?
Very true. I mean, I don't know. It's very hard for me to say. I play on the Switch, so there's only so good I can get, and that's part of why I play it on that I can't go all in. I can't like buy an extra button on my Xbox controller and make it easier to, jump. Which I don't even know why I know that. I barely play the game. But it's fun. I do think it's fun. But like we talked about, like I've had a hard time. I think I did talk about it in my launch video, but I've just had such a hard time like standing on 2 feet and being like, I play Fortnite, because I just don't know what the effect of like violent games are on people. And being a person that is mildly of influence, I'm just like, I don't know. And I would hate to like be part of, I don't know, breeding a more violent culture. But I've been playing it for a couple of months and I personally haven't felt like it's done anything to me. And it's been pretty fun, I have to say.
If you're ever looking to join a Fortnite crew, our good friend Shannon Woodward, very talented actress who's been on the show before, is a member of an all-female Fortnite crew called the Velveteen Rabbits. And I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would welcome you. If you ever want to be a Velveteen Rabbit, I can hook you guys up.
Wow, I would love that. Right now, it's just me and my boyfriend and our 12-year-old neighbor. So I'm very open to that.
You mentioned you're not really a fan of shooters overall. We talked a little bit about games during the pre-interview. I recommend maybe you check out Splatoon, which is like the most kid-friendly shooter. My 8-year-old hates shooters, but she likes Splatoon. That one might be up your alley. And
okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. But we talked about this before too. But like, I guess I just am trying. I've been trying to think for myself about like my own moral compass with it, because I'm totally fine with Super Smash Brothers. I've been playing Super Smash Brothers forever. I don't even think twice about it, and that game's violent too. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just that like I've got this brain that's like stuck in its ways, and I just like my Mario cartoons, and I just want to stay there. But yeah, you discovered and revealed something true about me on live television. And I gotta say, it feels pretty good to just let that out.
Don't you feel better now that that's out there? Now it's off your chest.
I do. I feel like my temperature's gone down a little bit. Yeah.
Adam, who in his off hours when he's not working with me on the show, is actually a game developer. He's published games on the Nintendo Switch. And after he heard you mention that you were interested in exploring some non-violent indie games, Adam actually very kindly went and curated a shopping list of games you might be interested in trying out.
Really?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
If you have a pen,
top of the list.
Yeah. Do you want to do it, Adam? Why don't you tell Brie about the games that you would recommend to her?
Oh, I was just going to be obnoxious there and say my game, but
you've done that already. You plugged. You get one plug per show, Adam.
What's it called? Ding Dong XL.
Ding Dong XL. You need to check that out.
Brie Larson just said Ding Dong XL.
She did.
I know. I never. I would have never thought I would say that in my life.
Back of the box.
I will say.
Back of the box quote. Ding Dong XL.
I will send you just saying the name of the game. I will send you this list after the show, Brie. But right off, just so that people in the chat can see what we've recommended for you. If you like Animal Crossing, but like really want to take it to the next level, I would recommend Stardew Valley, which is basically Animal Crossing on steroids. What the Golf, Adam has recommended, is a very wacky, surrealistic golf game that you might enjoy. There's a beautiful platform game called Grease. These are all on the Switch. Have you heard of Untitled Goose Game? Because I think you might really enjoy the Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, you know what? I think this one was also recommended to me.
You get to be a belligerent goose and basically just go around town causing trouble for people. I think that might be right up your alley.
Oh yeah, that sounds really good.
It's wholesome trouble though.
Okay.
And then
we talked about coffee time.
Yeah. And then one more we're going to recommend a game for you called Celeste, which is a beautiful platform game on the Nintendo Switch, which in the spirit of great indie games actually does have like a really poignant theme. And actually, it's like the whole thing is like a thematic kind of exploration of like mental health issues, but it played out through a platform game. It's really, really something special. I think you might enjoy that. So those are my game recommendations for you. Let me ask you this, Brie. What are we going to see you in next? Obviously, you've got this YouTube channel. No one can go to the movies right now. No one's shooting anything. Did you have anything in the can before the shutters came down?
No, I don't think I did, unless something I forgot. But no, I don't think so. I was actually like, after Captain Marvel came out, I was like, I'm going to like take a year off and chill and do things for myself. And some of the stuff that I did, I'm actually going to release some videos from these things that I did. And then the pandemic happened. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm taking 2 years off. Cool. So no, I don't think that there's anything else besides like the videos that I'm creating now. And I guess getting really good at Fortnite.
And of course, I would be derelict in my duty as a talk show host if I didn't check this box. And I'm sure you will artfully deal with this question the same way that Simu Liu did when he was on the show, and we tried to nail him down. I got to ask the question. Feel free to bat it away. When are we going to see you back in the Captain Marvel suit? I got to, I have to. I have to ask. I have to do it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that isn't it like online?
Don't do it if you aren't sure. Don't say anything.
No, I mean I'm pretty sure. I mean, just in the green room, they were asking me about it, and I was like, "Isn't that stuff like isn't like whatever information I know?" Like honestly, like the craziest thing about this is I've just been really clear with Marvel, where I've been like, "Please just don't tell me anything. Like I don't want to hold. I'm really bad at secrets. I'm just really bad at it, and it's hard because like." It is really cool stuff. And, I had to hold the fact that I was Captain Marvel for, I think, a year before I could tell anybody. That was hard. Like, yeah. I don't want to go through that again. Like,
Brie, I worked in the Star Wars universe for 5 years. You're speaking my language right now.
Yes. You wrote Rogue One, right?
I co-wrote Rogue One, and I worked on Star Wars.
I auditioned for that.
I remember.
Didn't get it.
I remember. I wasn't going to say anything, but you've now mentioned it, and now there's going to be a million clickbait headlines on on the internet tomorrow. You would have been wonderful. You would have been wonderful, by the way.
Something?
Yes.
Why am I seeing so much Brie Samus talk? Is this a thing
they all want you to play Samus, Brie. They all want you to be in a Metroid movie.
I would love that so much. So I was Samus for Halloween 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. Oh, really? Yeah, and it was just
amazing.
It was like literally like a $20 costume I bought off of Amazon. It was like nothing. But I was so excited about it. And so whatever, I had like posted a picture, I think on Instagram of me in the costume, and it turned into this thing of people being like, whoa. She was always my character that I played in Super Smash Brothers. And I just loved her. And so then, that whole thing started, and I've definitely not put a squash to that story. I'm like, definitely want to make that movie. Definitely want to participate in that. So Nintendo, once again, I would love to do it.
Brie, he's been waiting very patiently in the green room. I'm going to bring our next guest on in just a moment, but I know you might have to leave us before too much longer.
I do. I didn't even realize the time really flew. I understand
time flies when you're having fun.
For an hour. And like I said, I gotta go hang with my my crew and play Fortnite. So I am going to exit.
Before you go,
it feels so good to not have to lie. That I don't have to be like, I gotta go cook dinner. I'm like, no, I'm actually just gonna go play this game.
Before you go, I know we talked about this before the show. Did you bring a bad joke?
Oh shoot! I forgot to bring a bad joke.
I'll let you off.
What about
unless you have one?
What about the classic one?
Go on.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow. Yeah. You know what? I regret. I remember I told my 8-year-old that joke a few years ago, and I always regretted it because I heard it like 500 times since. But it is. You're right. It is a classic. It is a classic. Yeah. I got interrupted. Interrupting cowed by Brie. Brie, your Dodo Airlines flight is patiently waiting for you on the dock. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and I'm 100% serious. The offer, the host chair is open for you anytime you'd like to come and guest host the show.
I would be so honored. Thank you so much, and thanks for reaching out. I'm so glad we got to do this. This was really a real highlight.
Thank you. Brie Larson, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, that was something.
Not bad for a first guest, Adam. What do you think?
Pretty big deal.
Yeah,
pretty big deal.
No complaints. And listen,
I'm telling you. Just give me a second to go update my Steam page here. I just got to put that box.
I'm going to put on the Brie Larson quote. Listen, we're not slipping, we're not slouching. We just had a megastar on the couch here, and now we've got another one. I'm just going to get right into it. And look, this is, if you're on Twitch, you know who this next guest is. Because he's a big star. He's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, and he is blessing us right now with his presence on our tiny little channel that is still struggling to get some attention. He is bringing a supernova of heat and light to our show right now with his presence. Please welcome to the show. My goodness, can't believe I'm saying this. Please welcome to the show, the one and only Dr. Lupo. Yay!
There we go. There we go. I promise you I know how technology works.
You have some problems there, Doc? Okay.
Listen, all right?
The chat is going nuts.
Not my fault.
They love you. Your milkshake has brought all the boys to the yard. You're a big star. Dr. Lupo, thank you so much for joining us on the show here. What a treat to have one of the true megastars of Twitch right here on our little show.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, man. I appreciate it. This is I heard that Brie geeked out about the fact that we're doing like a show in the middle of Animal Crossing, and this is a weird technological advancement that I didn't think that I would ever see. You don't expect this. I'm sitting on a couch in the middle of your set in your basement. Most people can store things down here, Gary. They don't build a set.
Lupo, let me tell you, I didn't expect this, and I created the show. I had no idea. This was just me. This was just me wanting to hang out with my friends, and that's still what the show is. It's just that some of the friends now are more famous than others, like the stratospheric stars we have on the show tonight: Brie Larson, Dr. Lupo. Look, Brie Larson is like the Brie Larson of the real world, but you are like the Brie Larson of Twitch, like this massive star that everybody is attracted to and wants to be around. What is the? I'm just gonna. Because obviously I want to learn from you. I'm lucky to have a Twitch megastar here, someone who has achieved the levels of success that I can only dream of on this platform. What is the secret of your success?
Okay, so I've talked about this a little bit on stream before, and there's a lot that goes into this. So a little surprise for some people that may not have heard it before, but I like to reference a previous. It looks like someone's
hold on.
leaving.
I think Brie might be getting her flight out. Hold on. Let's give a chance to wave goodbye to Brie here. I'm glad she didn't just mine us out. That's very good Animal Crossing etiquette, by the way. There she goes. B is going home. Thank you so much, Brie Larson. What a treat. Sorry, Doc, you were saying.
So every time people ask about this, like how to grow a channel, how to get somewhere on Twitch, because it's super complex, super complicated thing to do. It's not easy, and even if you do the right things, sometimes it still doesn't happen. But I like to reference a tweet that Summit1G made maybe like 3, 4, or 5 years ago about this exact question, because I think it's pretty true. You can have a number of different things on Twitch or in the entertainment space in general. I think it's kind of applies, blanket applies to everybody. But one is if you're crazy good at a game, people will watch you. You look at somebody like Shroud. Shroud is insane at any game that he plays that is a shooter, right?
He's preternaturally good, yes.
Yeah. It's not, maybe his personality isn't for everybody. Maybe he's not super engaging with chat or whatever, but you will watch Shroud play any FPS based solely on his ability to play FPS.
Right.
That's thing number one, high skill. Thing number two is going to be if you have a level of entertainment that is engaging for your viewership. It could be I'll use you specifically as an example. Maybe you've built a set for a talk show in the middle of a game that people have been playing a ton recently, and so you see this thing, you're like, wait, he put all this time. Like, look, if chat has not looked at this yet, look at this freaking room. You have the backdrop of a city, just like every other late night talk show. You've got all the plants, the lighting all over the place, the weird statues. You got Adam on the side looking ridiculous and being silly.
Right? That's what he does best. Let's do a little camera move around the set here so people can enjoy it as we go.
This is an entertainment piece that you've crafted to that nobody else is doing. Nobody else is doing this, Gary. If people are fans of both talk shows and Animal Crossing, or just one of them, they need to watch this because this is the thing that nobody else is doing. So you have an entertainment piece. It doesn't even have to just be a positive thing either. You have somebody like, I'm gonna reference Tyler One because I think he's super funny to watch when he is in his moments. And chat's gonna know if you're a Tyler One fan. When he rages, He specifically has a microphone that peaks. It's trash. It's like, he uses the shitty. Sorry, is that a thing? You might.
Oh, you're good.
Don't worry about it. We're all good. Did you see the T-Pain show? Trust me, you're fine.
Okay, that is true. No, but like he uses the shitty headset mic on purpose so that when he's super loud, it blows up, right? And like that the entertainment portion somehow is super important. That's thing number 2. If you're crazy entertaining, right? That'll get you popularity. Thing number 3 is if you have like an engaging, tight-knit community. If you do community-oriented things and you talk to your chat a lot, all that stuff, that will gain you. Because people are like, I want to watch this person because like I feel like I can have a conversation, I can connect to them, or maybe connect to other people in the channel, in the chat. That's super important. So you have one of those 3 things: skill, entertainment, and community engagement. One of those 3 is going to get you somewhere. You have 2 of those 3, your channel will pop off when you get noticed. If you have all 3, you have the special sauce. You are the Nick Merckx. Right now, Nick Merckx is poised in this position. He's got 60,000-ish subs on Twitch. He's got I look right now. He's got 26.6 thousand viewers on Halo. He's been playing a lot of Call of Duty. That's his thing. But he's got 25,000 plus on Halo. That says a lot about who he is. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. It's not going to be like fully accepted. But that if you have all 3 of those things, that is the special sauce. But the last thing about it, the key is luck. And I don't mean luck in that it'll randomly happen. It's like flipping a coin. I mean luck in that when the stars align, you have been in the right place at the right time consistently in a way that your channel will get noticed and grow. Because there's a lot of channels out there, man, that deserve a powerful viewership behind them. That those people put out insanely good content. That they're motivated, they're entertaining as hell. Maybe they're super funny or whatever it is, And it doesn't have to be like top-notch quality. In fact, if anything, sometimes the trash quality is, as funny as it sounds, it will gain viewership because people are like, man, I want to tune in this guy's stream because his camera is absolutely awful and his mic is terrible, but he's insanely good at the game.
Right.
And it's one of those things that will bring people in. So there's a bunch of different things that play into popularity, growth. And in order to activate on those, in order to take advantage of those, being in the right place at the right time. And that's why I say luck. It's not like luck, like, man, I went to the slot machines and I won $1 million luck. It's luck in that, like, you've been streaming so much and maybe you're in the right place and you do this thing and something crazy happens and everybody's like, ah, shit, I got to watch that guy. And then suddenly you've made it.
Yeah, as you were talking about those different elements there, I was thinking about like, okay, well, the first one, elite level play, I'm out. Like the last game I was any good at was Quake 2 back in my PC gamer days. It's all been downhill from there. But the second point you raised, how like do something that no one else is doing, have a gimmick talk show in the basement or whatever. So I did a lot of press about this after the show blew up, and I thought about it a lot, kind of like the chemistry of virality. And it occurred to me that where I think this show has appealed to people is you take something that's very, very traditional and familiar, like the classic American late night talk show. Like that format has been around with us since the 1950s. So like that right away, that format's familiar. People go, oh, yeah, I know what this is. But then you present it in a new way, do it inside a video game, and you've got just the right mix of, okay, I'm familiar with the concept, but it's being done in a new way, so it's still original and fresh. Like you put those two things together, and maybe you have something.
Oh, 100%. Especially with the flavor that you have on this show. And I'm sure, I mean, I don't even know if this has been done elsewhere. Maybe it has, and I never caught wind of it in a different game, maybe in The Sims or something like that. But you've got custom branding that looks like Animal Crossing. You've got the overlays and all the stuff. And I have to, you got Adam. Look at Adam.
I know, right? Look at
Adam.
Look at him.
Look at that outfit, dude.
Look at that commitment.
Look at Adam.
Look at that commitment.
That's all I'm saying. It's like you've got the whole thing. And it's like tuned to a T.
Oh no, you set him off now. Look what you've done. You've encouraged him. This is the problem when you acknowledge Adam. This is what happens. This is why I don't like to do it, because he gets carried away. But to be fair to Adam, just to give him his props, a lot like the little chyron at the bottom there that says Dr. Lupo and the graphics. A lot of that, Adam puts a lot of that stuff together. He works really hard on the show.
You do a fantastic job. It looks wonderful. And it stands out too because, like I said, you're on brand with both the show and yourself, and that's perfect.
What did you do before you were a streamer, and how did you get started streaming?
I worked in IT. I've been a nerd my whole life, man. I decided to embrace it. Before this, I worked as a senior systems engineer, doing basically like you name it. I did my big thing was coding virtual machine deployment automation in an enterprise environment. I did all the stuff for through VMware for that. I did network security and data center administration. I did DB stuff. I did all sorts of IT things. Before that, it was like help desk support and, you know, hey, my mouse stopped working, and I'd come and touch it and it would work, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, you see all the Lupo nerds in chat. That's an emote designed around that whole thing. Cause like that was the thing. It actually, and Red Wolf Audio in chat is my brother, not next oldest, but after that. And he still works in IT. It actually pretty much all of us did for the longest time. Because I have 3 older brothers, and it's been in the family for a super long time. Even my dad was big into coding and all that his entire life, and so it kind of came naturally. So I said, "This is easy. I might as well make it my career, right?"
Yeah.
And tell me about those early days streaming. What were your first kind of tentative streams like? Because there was a time when even you, Dr. Lupo, was streaming to like what, half a dozen people, just trying to get off the ground.
Oh, I remember single digits. I remember back when we would go nuts when we would getting coding options, Gary. Back in the dark times. Do you know what it was like, Gary? Okay, let me describe this to you.
All right.
During the time when we were in the transition period, let's say the first maybe 3-4 months, you would get like 5, 10, 20 viewers. If it was a crazy day, you'd hit like 50, and then the stream would go down and come back because you would get pushed from one of the ingest servers that has no encoding, where you only get source, to encoding options where you have, you know, all the different resolutions and frame rates that the viewer can choose. And when that happened, it would end the stream and restart it, so you'd lose like half your viewership. They'd be like, I was at 80 and now I have 30 people. What the hell happened? Those were the old days, man. Back when I had no webcam, and I used, and some people in chat will remember this, I used to use a wireless old school Logitech like $40 microphone that the quality it was Gary, it was bad. and I sounded like I worked for you know, Space Command, basically, like I was coordinating, you know, the landing of the space shuttle. That was how bad the microphone was, but it had a certain feeling to it, right? It had a flavor. It had that thing that people were like, this is very funny. You know, I want to listen to this. It's ridiculous.
Right.
And so those were the first streams, you know, that was
By the way,
back in the day.
If you do have questions for Dr. Lupo while we've got him here on the couch, please do drop them into the chat, and anything interesting will be passed on to me, and I'll relay it to the man himself here. So when you and I talked the other day, I asked you about this, and I was like, what was there a breakthrough moment where, you know, you realized you were, you know, going to be successful at this, and people were starting to kind of switch on to what you were doing? And you said there were several, but there's one in particular, and I've got the clip right here that you referenced. Are you monitoring the stream right now? Are you able to see the clip we're about to show?
Yeah,
okay, so I'm going to go to this clip. This is a clip from Destiny 2, and it's from at least 2015, maybe earlier than that, but that's when the YouTube clip goes back to. I'm going to go over here and show this clip. As this clip's playing, Lupo, would you mind just talking us through what's going on here and why you consider this a breakthrough moment?
Okay, yeah, there'll be a little bit of delay, but I know exactly which one this is. So, back during Destiny 1, one of the first weekends of trials after it came back for one of the expansions was on this map, Bannerfall. The problem in this clip, though, is that me and the guy that my friend Ramblin', Nick, were helping. He and I are both dead. So it's Nick versus, you know, basically a 1v3.
Okay.
And so Nick is single-handedly taking out all these different people, killing them one at a time. They can revive each other, and he's not anywhere near our ghost, so he can't get us back up.
Right.
So if anybody's played Destiny, you know that team comms, especially during trials, I'm like telling Nick what I can see, where people are coming from, that kind of thing. And so the communications around this clip, the clip is insane. He takes out 9 kills. against these kids that are all reviving each other, constantly trying to figure out basically the game of chess to get everybody back. But this is one of the clips. This is one of probably my earliest ones where people started going crazy because they heard the comms, and it's all the coordination of like me telling Ram where the next bad guy's going to be and where they're pushing from, and people went nuts for this. Ramlin is one of the best Destiny players still to this day that I think I've ever played with. But I remember this turned into a Reddit post, and people were like, "Yeah, your gameplay was insane, but when we talk about that guy that's talking, like, what's going on there?" So
even though this other guy that we're following in the stream is doing all the killing, you're still functioning very much in a support role by like calling out targets for him and assisting him? Okay.
Yeah, and that level of communications people kind of went crazy for because they hadn't. It's coordination. It's map, game knowledge and that kind of thing. Call outs in a game like that are extremely important if you're trying to help your teammate. And so if you're like succinct with them, people will go crazy.
Right. The title of the Reddit post is 9 kills in 1 trials round with the last word plus Night Stalker. I basically understand the words kills and round. Everything else is like Destiny jargon to me.
It was right after both the pistol, the handgun that he was using, and the subclass he was playing as both got nerfed. So it was like they should be bad, but he is still shitting on people. That's why that was important.
There's a I'm trying to find it. Just scroll by. Let me see if I can grab it. There was a question in the chat here. Faye Queen of Gaming asks, Dr. Lupo, did you have to explain what you were doing to your parents, and how did they accept your career choice as a streamer?
So
I bet they bloody accept it now, by the way.
Well, I would say that by the time my dad passed away, and definitely now my mom, their perception of things is far different than when it first started. I actually have to say though, when I first decided to make the jump, they were not they weren't like, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't get into that. They were more about wanting to know. They were more like, I don't know how you make money doing this.
Right.
Explain it to me, and I trust you. And if you think this is the right thing to do, then it's the right thing to do. And I remember the last conversation. So that was like when it first started, right? Or when I first made the jump to full time. I very specifically remember the last conversation that I had with my dad before he passed away. It was the day before, and my wife and I were at Target, and she was at checkout, and I was bothering her as I do. And so she was like, "Can you just go do something, and I'll catch up with you in a second." I was like, "Okay." Yeah. So I walk away and I call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" We were just talking about whatever, and I was telling him about I was like, "You won't believe this. I'm doing an ad for PUBG Mobile on Friday. I gotta play this game for 2 hours." And I told him how much I was gonna make off it, and he was like, "Where the hell was this money when I was your age?" I was like, "Dad, this is the entertainment industry now." And he's like, "This is ridiculous. I don't get how this is a thing." And I'm glad that I remember very specifically that conversation, because I remember being happy that the last thing that he and I talked about is how silly that it was that's what I get to do. And that they're like, they're going to give you money to play a game. That doesn't make any sense. So that was such a big step from the first conversation about that, where he was like, "Okay, so are you sure this is a good idea? This doesn't make sense to me," because he was in his 60s. He grew up doing, grinding every day, going to the office at like 5 a.m. because he was a teacher, and getting his stuff done and being there fully dedicated the whole time, and then now the transition. Little does he know, if he looked at it now, the amount of time I put in is astronomical. With the support of my wife and an entire team behind me is huge. I wouldn't be able to do it without them, but like, it's definitely changed.
I got to say, the story you just told me really, really resonates with me. I'm a little bit older than you, but I feel like I had a very similar journey. Like, I was a child of the 1980s, and I grew up playing kind of 8-bit and 16-bit video games. And this was before there was really any suggestion that, that could lead to anything. Now, if a kid comes to you and says, "Hey, Dad, I feel like I want to, get into video games," we're aware of the fact that, you can make big money, there's in esports and streaming and stuff like that. That can be a legitimate path. So I think it's maybe easier now to come to your parents with that and, and make the argument, "Hey, maybe I could make something out of myself." In the 80s, it was nothing like that. And having said that, nevertheless, my parents, Both of them, I just lost my dad about a month ago, and my mother passed some years ago. But both of them were incredibly supportive, and never once said like that's dumb or you should like get learn a trade. And thank God, because who know, if they had been less supportive, I might not be where I am today.
My loudest cheerleader, I'm pretty sure, is my mom now. Man, she comes over to watch my son twice a week and like hangs out and stuff. That woman has on Dr. Lupo gear every day. She has the Dr. Lupo pop socket on her phone. Dude, like it is incredible because she doesn't ever have to say it, but the fact that I could look at that and know that she's proud is definitely a huge motivator. And it's helped with a lot of the things that I've tried to do in my career now. Cause like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Gary. I never intended for this to be a thing for me. I went into it originally when I first started. I started streaming because I wanted to try and help my friend out with his channel, Brian, and it grew into this thing without like almost out of my control. You know what I mean? I was definitely helping it along, but it blew up. And so I've taken that opportunity to like, that's why we do the charity stuff. And like,
right.
I've been able to help my family out a bunch because they're my family. And like, I help my friends out when I can. And those kind of things are all really important because I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now without the people that watch and without the support of my family, like, especially my parents, man. And like that kind of stuff is important to me. So I figure the best way I can give back is to quite literally give back, you know?
What's it like being where and who you are? You have these massive audiences, in the Twitch and in the game world. Like if you go to TwitchCon, you're going to get mobbed. I'm sure you have to walk around with like, security or whatever. You get treated like a super duper VIP. What at this stage in your career, what do you like most about being Dr. Lupo? And what like what do you like the least? What are the drawbacks?
The thing I like the most is the people. You are given an opportunity to be exposed to every single walk of life, every kind of person, all these different stories. I think people very quickly forget if they are in their own little silo, they forget that there are billions, quite literally, of other people that all have a different story, that all are the star of their own show too. And so streaming is a good way to remember that you're not the only one out there. Yeah, I'm on my channel, I'm the star of the show, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I mean, in life as a whole, that's why putting a focus on helping other people is important. And I see a lot of people that lose track of that. Even with popularity, they forget that it should be about the greater good, especially with how little time we have on the planet and everything that's going on. Not to get super, big brain here, but it is one of those things where you have to realize that you are part of a collective entity of the planet. And so you're not just the one person. It's important to know those kind of things. So my favorite thing is definitely getting to meet the people. The downside though, is that with that comes a lot of trash. There's a lot of scum and like a lot of people that just want to see you fail and a lot of negativity. And it's really hard to not let that strike at you and measure yourself against, man, the number of times I've been tagged, especially with these esports awards. I got nominated for 2, like content creator of the year and like esports personality of the year, something that. And which is huge. I appreciate that. But what it does is it turns it into a contest that I didn't ask to be a part of that. I don't really enjoy being measured against other people because what it does. And I've been nominated for these things before and I don't win them. That's fine. Like it's an honor to be nominated. And I'm very thankful for that. But I think it puts a focus on something in the environment that of streaming and entertainment that is probably better off avoided. I don't need to be measured against all these other people. I just want everybody to kind of, do the same thing, try and work towards the same greater good, so to say.
I mean, one of the things that I love about you and your channel is you have fostered a very, very positive community over there. You got one of the most, for a streamer of your size, I'd say you've got one of the most non-toxic communities on the internet. And I'm sure that's not an accident. Is that just a case of you leading by example? How do you, as a big streamer, foster a positive community?
Gary, they're non-toxic until I fail to pick up the one item in Tarkov that they definitely want me to pick up. And they're like, Lupo, you missed that thing. What are you doing? Oh my God. So that's They are very positive. They're super supportive. They want to see success. They want to the good people want to help each other grow, and they mean well. The problem is, for me at least, is that sometimes I forget that they are. I mean, imagine thousands of people all simultaneously telling you something different to do a thing or miss this thing, and you're like, wait, at a certain point I have to ignore it. It's just it's a back and forth, but they definitely, man, they jump on board when it's time to support good causes. They jump on board when there's somebody in chat that is having a bad day. They're my moderating team is they're some of the best people I've ever met in my life for this kind of stuff, and they know exactly what I want when it comes to keeping chat a certain way. Yeah, there's times to make some jokes about, like, if I get crapped on in a game, everyone types Keck W and then we all move on, right? And I'll even laugh too, or like I'll play it up. There's an entertainment portion where, like, getting mad about it is an entertainment thing, or like I'll fall on the ground behind in the camera and so they can see it look like I died for real, and they're like, ah, crap, Lupo's dead. Like if I just get absolutely destroyed or whatever, like those kind of things are important. But they by and large are some of the best people that I could have asked for to be viewers in the channel in my entire life, because they respect what I'm trying to do when it comes to good causes. They respect my family.
Just going to send a message back to the green room here. We're going to bring Friskk on in just a moment, our next guest. But before we do, I just want to ask you one more question. Interesting question from the chat. This is something that I've thought about, and I'm not even that big, but I think about this a lot, and I do what I can. Chrysanthemum asks the question, have you ever helped smaller streamers who are struggling getting viewers? Is that something you think about as someone who's achieved the level that you have, like, trying to reach back down and shine a light on other streamers who are still where you once were? And if so, how do you go about doing something like that?
It's tough to know the right way to support certain people, which is why I kind of just do it like on a whim. And allow me to explain. When I end my channel, I always host somebody else every single time. A majority of the time when I end my stream, though, those hosts go to people that are very low in viewership. I try to favor people that typically get a lot of bullshit. Let me be honest with you. Women in content creation get more negative shit than almost anybody that I think I've ever seen, with the exception of potentially anybody that is a person of color. Which, I mean, it's wild.
And for those who are both,
oh my
doubly
God.
bad.
Yeah, so you get a lot of so what I try and do is try and focus, because I know I have a pretty positive, supportive community. So I can't control everybody, and if there's like thousands of people, you're gonna have some shitters, and their moderation team can direct that. But like I'll go through sometimes just like try and follow the small, like super small content creators. Especially women, people of color, anybody like that falls into the maybe not the best opportunities for exposure. And then when I end my stream, I'm like, all right, go blow this channel up, and we just send the wave in there. I don't like taking, I try to avoid taking requests and stuff like that from people like, please host this person, unless it's like a charity thing, that kind of thing.
Right.
Because it feels more natural if I'm looking into it from my own POV. I want to look at it from my own perspective and make sure I'm hosting the right people. And you never know people's intentions, which is why I try and just do it off the cuff. I'll if I'm streaming Tarkov, I'll go in the Tarkov directory at the very end. I'll literally scroll down to single digit viewership and be like, this person, boom, and we'll just go.
Hey, by the way, Lupo, if you want a pro tip, you can search by load of height. You can get those low end single digit viewers right at the top and not have to scroll down. I just gave you a pro tip.
Gary, as a boomer, I don't like change, so I'm gonna do it the way that I've. I'm kidding.
Dr. Lupo, don't go anywhere. I'm so glad that we have you on the show, not just because of the tremendous success you've achieved in the Twitch streaming game, but the way you've gone about it, the way you conduct yourself, the example that you set for others. I think you're just a tremendous example for anyone out there who wants to be successful on this platform. Speaking of people being successful on this platform, it is time to bring on our next guest. So, Lupo, I'm going to invite you, if you'd be so kind, to scooch down the couch. And the trick here is to kind of walk into the arm of the chair. There you go. Like, he's a pro. Adam, this guy's a pro. He doesn't
Gary,
even...
you act like I have not adjusted my location specifically on a couch to sit next to my wife in Animal Crossing before. Please.
This is why I like having video game pros and streamers on the show. Their audio is good out of the gate. They know how to play the game. We don't have to hold their hand through anything. And speaking of such people, I would like to, I'm going to just take Lupo's Chiron off the screen here and replace it with the next one that's about to come up. My next guest is another really, really talented streamer. I've been trying to get her on the show for a while. I'm so glad we finally made it work out. Please welcome to the show the wonderful and talented and delightful Friskk. I'm going to clap too. Hello!
Hello, hi Gary.
Hello, look at you.
Hello, hi, it's me.
Look at you. Oh, look at you. You're so adorable. Come take a seat on the couch here
I
next
just
to
want
next
to
to
note
Lupo.
that Lupo stood.
I did.
He did.
Politely.
That was very gentlemanly. I'm the host, but that's no excuse. That was very rude of me. Again, talking about setting an example. Dr. Lupo is showing me up here, acting like a proper gentleman. And
Welcome to Animal Talking with Dr. Lupo, and also Gary's here. I'm just kidding.
I'm a British person in a suit, and Dr. Lupo is making me look unchivalrous. That is impressive. That is very impressive.
I'm very impressed. Yeah.
I do what I can.
Friskk, thank you so much for coming on the show. What a treat it is to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Gary. It's really wonderful to be here. I'm excited. I am very excited.
I discovered your channel just recently, and there it is. There's my lovely wife Leah giving you the shout out right there. Oh, that's the Twitter account. Let's get the Friskk. Nightbot just took care of it for you. There's the shout out. Twitch.tv/Friskk with 2 Ks. You can see it there right there in her on her Chiron, her little lower third there. I think the best way to introduce the Animal Talking audience to you, Friskk, is let's you actually, I don't know if this was something that was pre-existing or you put it together just for us, but you gave me a really cool trailer for your channel that I think is a great way to introduce you to a whole new audience. Let's head over right now. It's a little 90-second trailer. We're going to go over to monitor 2, and let's check out a little bit of what goes on over on Frisk's Twitch channel.
Hi, I'm Friskk. My channel focuses on good vibes, Dead by Daylight, and everything in between. Enjoy. Wait, hold on. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave one slime here. Nope, only one of you guys. So he can remember what happened this day. The day I stole his entire family. Oh, the salmon's ready to flip. I'm a professional now. Oh God.
Hello, can we chill out?
What are you doing? You're cute.
I do not know. I'm gonna be out of this in a second.
No! I've been debated! Wait, come back. Wait, did I say come back? No! Don't come back! Don't come back! Ah! What? Ah! There's a chance we can make it now. We'll be rocking till the sun goes down. I believe in anything goes. Guitar!
If you're happy and you know it, can you speak? If you're happy and you know it, can you speak?
Take a bath, wash yourself, brush your teeth, put on some deodorant.
Down with Cusco! Wait, is that my voice? Is this my voice?
All right, so what have we learned? We've learned we've learned that Friskk has a very, very fun channel where it's all popping off. I was watching, I don't know if you were watching the chat go by there, but just in the last 94 seconds, you have won a lot of new fans. They love this content. They're loving it.
I'm glad they love it. You know, when I was putting that together, I had actually put that together specifically for this.
Aww.
And and I was just going, you know what? I do a variety of random stuff, and I'm just going to make sure this entire trailer is just completely random. So that's what I went with.
It's awesome. Lupo, have you do you know Friskk? Have you come across her channel before? Have you met, or is this a new frontier for you?
So I was given the opportunity back when the Black Lives Matter movement started up very loudly, appropriately, I must say. And I reached out to a number of different people, and I said, I need to fix what is essentially the whitewashing of my following list on both Twitch and Twitter. And so I went through and I looked at a bunch of people that have been recommended to me, went down a very long list and dug through and found a bunch of people that I felt like were high quality content creators that hadn't been given the chance because of who they were, which is, in my opinion, largely inappropriate. It was a thing that I needed to fix. And so I did so. And Friskk was one of my favorite people that I had found because I mean, what's not to like? She's hilarious. Her singing voice is absolutely beautiful. It's like just super funny to watch. Her dog's hilarious. Everything about it is like it's the perfect storm of things that I talked about earlier that were like, you have some of the stuff that's required to make it on Twitch. You just haven't been given the chance yet. And it was definitely a good thing that I found her. That's why on top of that, like, I wanted to be as supportive as possible around the time when everybody was going out to protest too, because she was going out at a time when I mean, I can only speak for myself that because of some medical stuff in my family, I can't. I don't want to risk anything, but Friskk, you did, and that is worth supporting because you were going out physically in person to let your voice be heard, which is what should be happening.
Stop it! You're gonna make me.
She's
you're
blushing.
Make me tear up.
Do you have a blush? Do you have a blush reaction there, Friskk? Because I feel like now would be there. It is. That's what we want to see. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, and Lupo, I went through a similar kind of experience as you, where I felt like, I got to broaden my horizons, and I did a whole color of change fundraising special here in Animal Talking, and I got to meet so many people who are now among my favorite streamers, like Friskk, like DJ Knight, like Cypher of Tyr, who I now have a show, Dungeon Crossing. By the way, look at this, Dungeon Crossing with Cypher, one of the coolest new people that I've met from doing this show. I think she might be even hanging out in the chat right now. We're going to be.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, we're going to be having a lot of fun with that going forward, and I just love it. I'm so glad that I did that. Friskk, how did you first get into streaming? What was your journey like?
So my journey started about I want to say 5 years ago. And I was playing video games like anyone else. I was playing on Xbox at the time. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty and Gears of War and stuff. And I was just playing with some of my random internet friends. And there was a new person among us, and they heard me talking, and they were just like, "Hey, are you a streamer?" And I was just like, "What the the streamer?"
Did you
like, "What is
did
the streamer?
you bleep yourself?
Yeah.
That was impressive. That was impressive.
Thanks. But yeah, so they asked me if I was a streamer, and I was like, I don't really know what that is. And they were like, oh, all right, hold on, let me show you what's going on there. So then they linked me to Twitch, and I checked out a few channels, and I was like, this seems really funny and cool. I feel like I could do something like this. So a few days before Christmas, I was in Best Buy, and I saw an Elgato capture card on the shelf, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to buy this capture card, and I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to stream. I'm just going to go for it. And, I've been streaming ever since.
I love it. Tell me about the origin. We talked a little bit about the origin of your name, Friskk, because I was kind of intrigued by it, especially with the extra K there. And you told me that this goes all the way back to the early, we never talk about a blast from the past. This goes back to the early days of AOL, America Online.
Yeah. So, oh boy. So yeah, my username. So this is, okay, everyone, I want everyone to keep in mind, this is back in the days, I was very young. I was very impressionable. Okay. We were all that young and impressionable at one point. So I was, we had just gotten a family computer, and we had, AOL, AIM, whatever. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And when you opened up AIM, it would literally just throw you into these chat rooms. And it was always just these chat rooms with these weird names like "Oh Baby Girl for You" or like "Hot Man 69." And I was like 10 years old at the time. Okay. God. I was like 10 or 11. And I was like, wow, these names are so cool. Oh man, I want a cool name too. And then I was just sitting there going, whoa, what should my name be? I don't know. And then I decided to go with Friskky thing. And then after about 5 minutes, I was like, wow, this is dumb. But I like the name Friskk. Friskk sounds cool. So then I was Friskk ever since.
Lupo, you must have been on America Online back in the day.
But okay, is that an age joke, Gary? You call me old?
I'm speaking more to your wealth of experience than your age in particular.
Yeah, yes, I used to. At one point I used AOL Instant Messenger, Gary. What's your question? Okay.
You've got mail. Welcome. Remember they used to say welcome. I used to like that guy.
How many CDs for AOL do you still have? Did you build a house out of them yet?
Would you remember those stats? I think they said like you could walk to Mars and back with all the discs that they made. Like if you just
Gary,
stacked
that
them all
makes
into
me want
one.
to throw up hearing that. I want you to know
depressing. It's depressing. 5,000 hours free, and oh my god, yes. I mean, I go back. Don't even get me started. I'm 48 years old. I go all the way back to like 14.4 baud, dial-up modems where you paid by the minute.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you and I look the same age in game. Okay, I can't even tell.
That's why I love this game. People say to me like, "Why do you have hair in this game? You're bald in real life." I'm like, well, "Why are you a muscle-bound barbarian in Warcraft? That's not what you look like. The whole point is to be someone that you're not."
Are you trying to tell me that Friskk does not have anime eyes in real life, Gary?
And
how dare you?
Yeah, yeah.
No, this is exactly what I look like in real life. What are you talking about? I'm a vampire. I never age.
Friskk, there was another video of yours that I wanted to show.
Oh no!
I'm not, and I haven't watched it, and I'm not going to watch it, even as I play it. I feel like other people can watch it, but I'm going to look away. Streamers do all kinds of things, all kinds of gimmicks to like hit donation goals, hit sub goals. Like if I get 100 subs or whatever, I'll sing a song or I'll do this. You said that if you hit a particular subscriber goal on your channel, you would eat a scorpion.
No. It was what do you call it? I was doing my fundraising for the Guardian Con event for St. Jude, and I said if we smashed our goal, that I would go on finish.
Friskk, you're picking hairs about the wrong part. You said you would eat a scorpion.
That is true. I feel like the focus here is on the wrong thing.
Yeah. Let's keep our eyes on the prize here. I'm just going over. I'm just gonna play this clip. I'm not gonna watch it, but I'm gonna play it.
We hit my goal.
Oh god.
I would eat a scorpion. I would eat a whole scorpion. And not only did we hit our goal, we crushed it. We raised over $11,000 as promised. I'm going to eat a scorpion. And don't worry, I'll make sure it's ASMR.
No.
Let's start with the claws. Wow, look at that little claw.
Is it over yet? Ah, I can hear it.
Oh my god. Wait, what?
Oh, a leg.
Ooh.
Yep. Another leg. I ate a whole scorpion. Oh, look at the
Why are you eating it so slowly?
Did you see that? Because
no,
we hit
stop.
our goal.
I can't. I gotta bail. I gotta punch out of this thing. I can't watch the rest of this.
Pointy AF tail. Love that.
Pointy AF tail.
Because it was super pointy. Yeah.
All right, it's almost over. It's almost done. I'll tell you when you can look.
Why am I still watching it?
I don't know. Why are you?
I can't stop.
Oh, that's gross. It tastes like
Oh.
it tastes crunchy.
Oh my
And
god.
bleh.
All right. Okay. I'm done. I'm done.
It tastes bleh.
So
Dr. Lupo, have you ever eaten a scorpion on your stream?
I'm gonna be very frank with you. I don't have the balls to do that.
I just want to make to the
Lord.
point you can achieve success, Friskk, without having to resort to these kind of stunts. Like, there was no need for that.
You ate a whole scorpion. Are you a superhero?
She
How did
did.
you do that?
No. The superhero was 2 acts ago.
Oh my god.
Oops, sorry, I
I'm
didn't
leaving
see
this
that.
face on for a while now. Good lord.
Yeah. It was a very interesting experience eating
Oh
the
my
scorpion.
god. Oh my god.
So was it like cooked?
Yeah, where'd you get it from?
We need to know scorpion details, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We gotta
I
play
went to
this
my
out now.
Scorpion dealer, and I'm kidding. I don't have a scorpion dealer. I went to Amazon. So on Amazon, you can actually get a bunch of like dehydrated things and dehydrated gross bugs and stuff like that. And so a dehydrated scorpion is one of the things you can buy, and I bought it in this combo pack that actually comes with a water bug. You know the giant water bugs you see in Animal Crossing skating on the water? I have one of those.
Sorry, I asked.
I haven't eaten it yet. I told my community if we hit our sub goal and unlocked another emote, which we're like super far from, I was like, yeah, I'll eat 2 of them.
And how many more subs do you need for that?
It's a lot. My next emote is not until like 2200, and I think we're at like I think 700 right now or something like that.
Chat, get to work.
That is a crazy feat. Where are you going?
Yeah, I think Adam's had enough. He's finally crying uncle. I guess I have to ask one last question. What did it taste like?
What did it taste like?
Yeah.
Well, it tasted like bleh. Like it was gross. It was crunchy. It was very crunchy. And then when I got to the I guess like the meatier part of the scorpion, which is like the middle part where the body was, it was sort of like it almost tasted like medicine. That's the best way to describe it. It wasn't very delicious.
The one thing I do know is the educational segment of the show is that they are at least very nutritious, extremely high in protein. I used to watch this show. It was an Australian show, but they showed it in the UK. It was called Bush Tucker Man. And Bush Tucker Man was kind of like a real-life Crocodile Dundee. And he went out into the bush, because Tucker in Australia is like, a colloquialism for food. And so he would go out into the bush looking for Tucker. And I always remember this episode where he shoved his arm inside like the rotten bark of this tree, like right inside. And when he pulled it out, his arms were like swarming with giant grubs the size of hot dog buns. And they were swarming all over his arm. And he just went, yeah, good Tucker. And he took a big bite out of this thing. I wanted to be sick. But yeah, you can survive off that stuff. Very, very nutritious.
Yeah, I've seen, what is it? What's his name? The bear guy. Bear Grylls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Drinks his own piss.
Just say, you want to see a man drink his pee?
Yeah.
Bear Grylls.
You've come to the right place.
Did you know
come
that
back down too early?
It's sterile, Yeah.
They what do you call it? They had an interactive game show on Netflix with him. And I don't know if you saw that, but it was like a Bear Grylls versus the Wild. And if you could basically choose it was like a choose your own path story where whatever you chose is the path he went with. And obviously he had to record both each time. So there's points where he just straight up eats gross bugs and he's like, whoa, that was delicious. And I'm just like,
enough. I want to change it. Yes, Adam.
I just wanted to point out something I've seen in the chat a bunch, that Frisk's Twitch channel just surpassed a level 5 hype train.
Oh my gosh,
even
what?
while offline.
Hey, she's not even online. She's not even. That's the power of animal talking.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. I just opened up my notifications.
A level 5 hype train when you're not even broadcasting. I don't know if that might be a first.
You want to see something crazy, Gary?
What's
that?
I'm
going to show you the power of the internet. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Friskk, have you ever heard of a thing called Twitch Prime?
Oh my gosh.
If you haven't, you should hear about it. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you could look at your Twitch account right now and you could sub absolutely free once every 30 days to channels like twitch.tv/Friskk with 2 Ks at the end. You could go there and you could use your Twitch Prime sub right now.
Surely not. Dr. Lupo, surely you're pulling my leg. That sounds like that bargain's too good to be true.
I can assure you it absolutely is. It's kind of mind-blowing that you could literally, I mean, if you don't use it, Gary, you quite literally lose it.
Use it or lose it.
Well, use it.
I believe that's where the phrase comes from. So you're telling me that you can go over to twitch.tv/Friskk with 2 Ks right now and subscribe for free using your Amazon membership.
You better go warm up those water bugs, I'm just putting that out there.
All right, I'm gonna go grab those and I'll make a whole video for it. Also, guys, thank you so much for the level 5 hype train. I did not expect that.
That is nuts.
Let's go.
I can't even get a level 5 hype train going on my own channel. There's no hype train going on over here to go to other people's channels to do them. Whatever. I'm not going to take it personally. Friskk, you have two lovely dogs that we got a glimpse of on your channel there.
Yes, I have two handsome boys. and I love them. They're my world. So I have a handsome old man. He was the red one singing If You're Happy and You Know It with me. His name is Tango. He's a 6-year-old red Siberian Husky. And he's like really what do you call it? Just a grumpy all the time. And then I have a almost 10-month-old puppy. I have an almost 10-month-old husky puppy, and his name's Indy. So he's the one that burped in my face.
Oh, they really are.
550%.
That's
Tier 5.
550% tier 5 hype train.
What?
I've never before seen the like.
500%? What is happening? Do I have to eat 2 bugs?
I mean, you might have to.
As I said, you might want to warm them up. Just put that out there.
I'm going to bring my next guest on in just a moment. Our musical guest, Kenny Fong, is going to be joining us very, very shortly. Before I do, I just want to ask you one more question, Friskk. Dr. Lupo, of course, has given us the benefit of his wisdom as one of the top players in the Twitch streaming game. You've been at this a while as well. You've achieved some success. You're getting level 5 hype trains while not even streaming. So I think people might well come to you and say, what have you learned on your, like, what do you know now that you wish you'd known at the outset, and what advice would you give to streamers who are just getting started?
Oh boy, that's a really good question.
I mean, I'm good at my job, Friskk. I do this. I'm a professional talk show host.
Yeah. So I guess when it comes to advice, I would say that you should definitely treat people the way you want to be treated. I
like that.
Regardless of status, regardless of how many followers someone has, stuff like that. I think you should always try to make sure you treat others with the same respect that you would, expect yourself. And also, remembering people are people. Remember that people are people. And also, when you're going out to create content, a lot of times people will try and go to people with these really crazy viewer numbers and try and collaborate with them. And the thing is that you don't want to just collaborate with people just because they have high viewer numbers or they're very popular, stuff like that. You want to collaborate with people that you're going to make amazing content with, people that you mesh with, people that, you can make content with, that everyone in the audience is going to be laughing their butts off. And they're going to be like, this is great. Because if you just stream with someone because of their numbers and you don't even get along with them very well, nobody's going to remember you. Nobody's going to want to even go to your channel. They're going to be like, oh, it's our favorite streamer and random Joe Schmo streamer number 1. So you're always going to make your best content with people you really mesh with. So concentrate on that. Don't always concentrate on, searching for those huge numbers of people, because you'd be surprised the amazing things you can do with good friends.
I respond and relate to all of that, and I think that's why you've been successful, is because you've been doing exactly what you were just were talking about. It's like, really, really fun vibe. I stopped by your channel on the regular, as you know, and you're always having a good time. Like it's never a dull moment over on your channel, and I love that. I think it is time for our next guest. I'm so excited about what we have in store for you. And we've never had a musical guest quite like this. We're going to do a couple of things on the show tonight that have never been done before. And the first thing to do in that regard is bring our next guest on. Lupo, you'll notice that there's a director's chair there. If you wouldn't mind sliding on into that. Let me see if I can adjust the camera angle a little bit here so people can still see where you're sitting there. And Friskk, if you wouldn't mind scooching down just a little bit onto the other side of the couch, then we'll be able to bring our next guest on. Or you could just sit there and ignore me. I mean, it's totally up to you.
No.
Okay.
I'm totally going. I'm gonna go ahead and scooch. Bring my headset
Gary
and
likes,
lie over here.
for some reason, you to do it before the guest comes.
That's all right.
It's all about
because otherwise
There's
it's like
no
a whole
formula
musical
here.
chairs thing. It gets awkward, My next guest, what's
awkward.
when we first started on this journey of making this talk show, I felt like one of the things that we really needed to make it look and sound and feel like a talk show was great theme music. And when I was putting together, this little pilot episode that we kind of bashed together out of spare parts, I happened to be bobbing around on YouTube, and I found this. I literally just typed like late night theme tune music or whatever into YouTube, and a video popped up from like several years ago. A guy by the name of Fong, and I loved the music so much I wanted to use it on the show, and that's actually the music that you hear on the show every week. And we tracked him down. My wife used all of her Google Foo to track him down. And Kenny was very accommodating, and he not only granted us a license to use the theme music on the show, he even re-recorded and remastered it all for us and gave us a better version than we've ever had before. And he's done way more than that, as you're about to see very, very shortly. Please welcome to the show the composer of our theme music, both opening and closing credits, Fong. Yay! Here he is. Hello, Kenny, sir. How are you? Do we have you? We got you. We've got your audio. How are you? Let's get you on that. Let's get you on that seat.
I am struggling to get on the couch. There we go.
We got you. We got you. I'm going to boost your level just a little bit so that you're not too quiet. Kenny, yeah, what a journey it's been. I randomly found your music on the internet. So that was a piece that you composed and performed when you were like in like music class. Remind me like where that piece of music came from.
Yeah, this was from 6 years ago. I was in college, and the composition teacher wanted to assign us an orchestration assignment. I think his only outline was I had to have 8 instruments, and I was super into SNL at the time and the Saturday Night Live band, so I wanted to write something in that style. I never thought it would be picked up by something like this, though.
And now you wrote the theme music to what The Verge called 2020's hottest late night talk show.
And you guys are making dreams come true.
Home to such guests as Brie Larson, Sting, Elijah Wood, Danny Trejo, T-Pain, Dr. Lupo, and Friskk. Like the sky is the limit.
It's good to finally meet my band leader, Adam.
Oh, that's right, your virtual band leader, who doesn't really lead anything. He just stands behind a drum kit.
I have been happily taking all your credit.
You certainly have. Kenny, if you remember, the very first, when we first talked for the first time about getting official permission from you to use your music, I said to you, like, we should have you on the show sometime. And it's taken this long. I'm sorry it took so long, but I really think the wait has been worth it. I want to get straight to one of the coolest things that we're doing with your appearance on the show. When we talked about you coming on the show, you said, what do you want to do? And I said, would it be possible for you to perform our theme music that you composed and played lead saxophone on? Would it be possible to do that live on the show? And you wanted to do it, and it would be kind of tricky because it would involve like getting the whole band back together, and doing it live would have been really tricky. But what you ended up doing, I'm going to share it with the audience in just a moment. This is so cool. You did get the band back together. You got, what is it, like an 8-piece band? Was it 8 people?
10 people.
There's 10 people.
In there.
10 people.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the social distancing part of this in a moment. I thought I might have to give you a lecture.
I know.
But you did get the band back together, and you re-recorded live an entirely new version of the theme music. And not only did you do that, you shot a music video, and you brought it here on the show tonight.
I've never played it live before, actually. Like when I originally recorded the stuff, I put it on, like I layered the bass and drums first, and then like slowly added instruments. But yeah, this is.
I think the live version is arguably better than the studio version. It's absolutely incredible. I'm going to mute the capture card. I'm going to go over there right now. Let me just make sure I've got it queued up right, because I really don't want to blow this. Hold on. All right, here we go. So Kenny did bring this to the show. You recorded this on Sunday. This is like brand new, right? This is very new.
Yep, this last Sunday we just shot it.
All right, let's go over. We're going to go over to the browser window. Please enjoy the Fong 10, I guess you would call them, and an incredible live rendition of the Animal Talking intro theme.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, I'm speechless. Lupo, Friskk, did you see that?
So
Oh my
Gary, I'd like to
gosh, so
file a
good.
formal complaint. You've brought a number of extremely talented people on here, and I just play video games. How dare you?
But you are extremely talented at playing video games.
Okay, no, but okay, you have Brie Larson, who is a fantastic actress. You have Friskk, who literally eats scorpions. Dude, I can't compete with this. Gary, I can't.
Oh, you forgot the voice acting. I do voice acting too.
See,
She does.
Gary, see?
She's multi-talented. Yes. Sorry, Lupo. I didn't mean to bring you into my house and make you look bad. And it's worse to come. That's not even the best thing he's brought.
Oh God. That's good. See, that's a good thing because that was already like fantastic. That was killer, man.
That was incredible.
That.
Incredible. That video, that live performance, is going to be going up on the YouTube channel after the show, so you'll be able to go and enjoy that at your leisure. Kenny, by the way,
arrangement hasn't. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, please go ahead.
Oh, that arrangement, I haven't changed it in 6 years. So that was just, I gave everyone the sheet music. About half the guys had never seen it before, and they just came in and killed it.
But I mean, you clearly riffed on it and kind of made like there's new stuff going on in that version that isn't in the original.
Yeah, definitely. We changed up the instrumentation a little bit and just tried to give it a little flair. And I'm very happy with what we got. That was 100% a live take. I had my roommate actually mix and master it after we got it, but I'm super happy with how it turned out.
And by the way, just in case people don't think you're cool enough already, this is your own character. You do play Animal Crossing. This is your little guy that you brought to the island tonight.
I went hard with Animal Crossing when it first came out. I went, like there's a good 3 year or like 2 months actually. No, I don't know how long it was, but my island is very Zen. Let's put it that way. I used a lot of Zen buildings from the Animal Crossing template.
I love it. Oh, before I forget, I must make sure that I credit, because you did give me all the names, everyone who performed on that track. Lead saxophone and composer, Kenny Fong. Producer, Randy Slaw. Mixing, mastering, Chris Petty. Trumpet 1, Tom Young. Trumpet 2, Tyler Webb. Trombone, Patrick Bowie. Alto saxophone, Zane Peterson. Baritone saxophone, Ty Carter. Guitar, Adrian Baldwin. Keyboard, Kevin Judd. Bass, Andrew Pincock. And drums, Jake Larson. Incredible. Incredible. And again, now, you told me that in Utah, where you recorded that, the limit is, under the current COVID guidelines, no more than 10 people in a room. So are you telling me that you squeaked in right under the wire here?
It was 10, yeah, but I know that's still a little irresponsible.
I just see a lot of people packed in a poorly ventilated room playing wind instruments, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah. A high level of risk there. That's true.
Yes.
We kind of talked to each other. We kind of knew the risk, and we made sure everyone was feeling okay, which obviously doesn't mean it's safe, but they all knew the risk coming in, and I'm very happy they were willing to do it.
You make it sound like it was worth it. Like doing the re-recording a theme song for a video game talk show was like, yes, we knew the risks when we went in, but it was worth it. The stakes were high. You've also brought. It's already 9 o'clock. The show's going to go as long as it goes, but I mean, I want to make sure that we get all of this stuff in here, because this is really cool. You mentioned, and we talked about this when we first started talking about doing music on the show. I know you're a fan of KK Slider.
The biggest fan.
I mean, talk about a multi-hyphenated, talented musician. I mean, he does it all.
I do see that saxophone in the corner as well.
Oh, yeah. KK Jazz, of course, is playing in the background right now. That's our ambient theme music. KK's always in the background. He's credited in the show's closing credits as part of our music team. And you mentioned to me one of the things that you wanted to try and do for the show was actually do a couple of cover versions of some of your favorite KK Slider songs. And you actually did. You went away, you busted out the saxophone again, and gave us a couple of incredible cover versions, both of KK Cruisin' and KK Soul. Why did you pick those two songs? I mean, KK Slider's got a vast oeuvre. How did you choose those two?
Let's put it this way. When I was playing the game, those songs were just stuck in my head all the time.
Yeah, KK Cruisin's really catchy.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to give it homage and, try and do my best playing the melody on saxophone.
So again, the full version of this, like all 3 minutes and 40 seconds of it, will be going up on the YouTube channel after the show. But first of all, I did want to. I'm going to play just like a minute of it so you can get a little musical flavor of what KK Slider sounds like when he's being covered by a master saxophonist like Kenny Fong. Let's go check this out.
Let's do it.
And that's just the first minute of that track. That's a 3 minute and 23-second track. That's all going up on the YouTube channel after the show. Kenny, that's incredible. I mean, I have to ask you, how did you first start playing the saxophone? Because you are incredibly talented player of the saxophone.
I just started in junior high. Started on clarinet in 7th grade and moved to saxophone in halfway through. It's just something I.
You make it sound like this is something you just said. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna be excellent at the saxophone. Just like when I did it.
There's definitely a rite of passage. It took some time, but I want to keep improving. Like I'm never happy with my musicianship, and I want to keep getting better. Was that Dr. Lupo?
Was that a sad sigh from Lupo over there?
I recognize that sigh.
Gary, I realize that I've spent 33 years building up no talent in comparison. Sad.
Yeah, you're never gonna make anything of yourself, Lupo.
Come on.
Kenny, that was stellar, man. That was incredible.
I appreciate that, man.
You also did bring another one. It's like there's just no stopping you. I don't see if I'm just trying to cue it up right here. You brought so much music. I'm gonna go over here. So this is now. I'm gonna just again just a minute just to give you a little flavor. And again, the whole thing will go up on the channel after the show. Here's Kenny now, changing it up a little bit with a little bit of KK Soul. Let's check it out.
Oh yeah.
Is it working? Oh, you know what? Here's what I need to do. Now it'll work. So mellow.
This is so nice. I can see myself cleaning my house to this music.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I feel like you could make. I turn it off because it's getting too much. I feel like you could seriously make some babies with that music.
Whoa, Gary! This is my Christian Minecraft server. How dare you? Jeez. Totally unrelated. Please give me the link for that, Samantha. I'll just get it queued up. All right, I'll see you. No,
I'm gonna have KK Soul and KK Cruising for you right after the show, and you're gonna be able to go and listen to that and do whatever you want with it. Whatever you want that to be the soundtrack for, it can be the soundtrack. Don't worry about it.
I am working on getting a Spotify together. I'd love to get a live on Animal talking little album together.
Oh, I think that's a terrific idea. Now, Kenny, you're doing all kinds of things musically. I'm still so joyful over here. Let me turn that off. There we go. You're doing all kinds of things musically. You're also currently in a band that has a really, really cool name called Jake and the Heist.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's an original band for sure, but this band in particular, we kind of clash on originals versus covers, because in the music scene, it's like you're either pushing your original music or you're trying to get work as a cover band. It's kind of like trying to find that balance. So the pandemic kind of like just put the whole music scene on hold, and we all kind of together were like, why don't we just work on our album, you know? And so once the pandemic started, we did Zoom calls once a week and just started working remotely. And we're aiming to have something out, I think, within the end of the summer. Don't quote me on that, Jake, but we're pretty happy where we have it now, and we're working pretty hard on it.
What kind of music is it? How would you categorize the Jake and the Heist sound?
Ooh. Putting me on the spot there.
I can get you out of trouble. I can just play a little clip. You brought a little sample from your upcoming album.
Yeah, definitely. I also think Jake is very much going for like a JT Bruno D'Angelo vibe. That mix is a mix of the three.
When I go over to the web browser here and look at the Spotify page for the band, what I see is very kind of 80s throwback, like cool, movie poster kind of vibe. Like I'm feeling like this. Even before I hear it, I'm going to be hearing like a soundtrack for like some awesome 80s, Sylvester Stallone, James Woods kind of scenario where they're like mismatched cops or something.
Yeah, well, I think you'll like this track. Then I had to pull Jake's arm a little bit because it's not final, but I think we're really happy where it is now. So I'd love it if you guys check this out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. Let's it's just a little clip, but we're gonna play it right now. Let's have a little sneak peek at Jake and the Heist.
Don't say a word. Don't say a thing. That's like stay here with me. Don't say a word. Don't say a thing. That's like stay here with me.
Wow. So good. I almost played it again. Yes, I'm totally getting the 80s throwback vibe. That felt like the love scene from like, the cop, like the young Tom Cruise. I want to say like young Tom Cruise. Who else would have been in that movie? Maybe like one of those like a young Billy Crystal, but like doing like, kind of like playing a cop, that kind of vibe. That's what I'm feeling. Friskk, you seem to have enjoyed that very much. You can't stop clapping over there.
I can't. I'm going to keep clapping because Kenny deserves all these claps. You can't stop me.
Thank you, Friskk.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
We went with that because I had the saxophone on it too.
I noticed you burst. I'm loving this. Like, where's Kenny? And then you kind of busted it out right at the end there with the lead sax.
Yeah.
I kind of miss the days in like the 80s and 90s, mostly in the 80s. But like, do you remember when like every big pop and rock song had a bitchin' sax solo? That went away.
Oh yeah, those were the days. We're trying to bring it back though.
You should. I mean, if anyone's going to bring it back, it's you. My goodness. Now we are coming towards the end of the show, but we don't let anyone get away out of here without stepping up to the microphone. Brie just did it on the couch because she needed to get out over there. But the microphone's right over here. If you would like to step over. I don't know who wants to go first, but I'll invite whoever wants to go first, really, to come over and stand next to the microphone here. And please tell it, and please, by all means, tell us a bad joke.
Oh.
Who's going to do it?
Who's coming first?
Oh, gosh.
Someone's going to bite the bullet here.
You said a dad joke?
Bad joke or dad joke? I don't know what the difference is. Who just went up the stairs?
He's gone.
He escapes the show rather than tell a joke.
It's the stage fright is getting to me, Gary.
I'll go first, Gary.
All right. Okay. Lupo is up first. Okay. I'm going to put Lupo because I'm doing at the end of this. All of the people in the chat vote on who they thought had the best joke. Actually, I need to put Brie in first because she did the interrupting cow. She might still be able to win this. Friskk is getting hype trains while not even broadcasting. Maybe Brie can win a joke contest while not even being on the show. Let me see here. Lupo will go. Okay, Lupo, this floor, sir, is yours.
All right, Gary, I have a question for you, my friend. Why did Karen press Control-Alt-Delete?
I don't know. Why did Karen press Control-Alt-Delete?
So that she could talk to the task manager.
Wow. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start with that. I don't even know where to start. Here's why I think Lupo's going to do well with that joke. That's the kind of joke that there's like he knows the room. He knows how to read a room and tell the kind of joke that this very specific audience will enjoy and appreciate.
I totally thought of that on my own, and it has not been tipped to me many times during stream. I promise.
Look, you got to hear jokes somehow. Nobody goes around thinking like everyone makes up the jokes that they tell. You just hear them. Friskk, hit us.
Okay. Wait, hold on, Gary. Do you use your right hand to stir your coffee?
I actually have to think about that. Hold on. Do what? Yes, I do.
Huh. I use a spoon.
Oh, I feel like even more of a chump because she made me think about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was good.
That one left a mark. All right, Kenny.
All right,
Kenneth.
All right, we're sneaking in. All right, give me a second. I gotta get into character here.
Oh, you have, oh my
I
God,
worked
you
on
have to get
cruise
into
ships for a
character.
couple years, so I'm giving
Okay.
a character here.
Start over. I talked over you.
I
Sorry.
get into character here. All right, ready?
Okay. Yeah.
What be a pirate's favorite letter?
Oh, I don't know. What be a pirate's favorite letter?
Uh-oh. Am I coming through?
Yeah. I
Hello?
don't think we heard the punchline. Oh my God. Is it? I can't tell if he's doing like a really out there performative alternative comedy bit, or if we just lost his connection. I mean, I feel like
we lost connection for a while. Sorry about that.
Okay, you know what? Let's start over. Let's start over. I'm going out on a limb here. I think I know the answer, but try me again.
Okay. Am I coming through?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm coming through or not.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We got you.
What
Go
be a
ahead.
pirate's favorite letter?
I don't know. What's he doing? Adam!
You think it'd be R, but
Yes.
his first love be the C.
Okay, all right, we got there. Okay, all right, we got there. And there was a twist. The poll is now up at the top of the chat. You get 60 seconds to vote. Brie with the interrupting cow, Lupo with the task manager, Friskk with the spoon, and Kenny with a pirate's favorite letter. Let's see. In the early running here, Lupo is actually, I knew it because he's rigged this. He's brought all these fanboys in. Look at this. Lupo running away with it. I don't know that it was necessarily the funniest joke, but Lupo is leveraging the power of his fame here.
You're really gonna try and do it like that, huh?
It's coming in. It's looking okay. So right now, Lupo well in the
I got
lead.
a question for you.
Yes.
What do you call a cow that plays an instrument?
Oh my God, I don't know.
A musician.
Hey.
Boo!
Nobody asked for that. Nobody wanted that. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted that. Yeah. Seriously. I think, yeah, this is as good a time to wrap up the show. First of all, don't go anywhere because we always raid at the end of the show. We find a small Animal Crossing channel and raid it. And don't forget, you all were given, I believe, gifts as compliments from the show when you first got here. If you would care to unwrap those gifts now, then now would indeed be the time.
I'm being blocked by Friskk.
Oh, Friskk, you need to shift over so Kenny can get off the couch. This happens every time.
Me for $24.99 before I let you out of this chair.
Oh no!
Are you guys getting those gifts out?
You got me the raccoon figurine, and
Yes,
I've
it's
never been happier.
It's the worst object in the game, and all of our guests get it. Yes,
it's that thing behind the couch for
it
anybody
is.
that doesn't
Yeah.
know it.
If you want a little preview of what awaits you when you get that thing back to your own house.
It's beautiful.
Yes. The other thing we always do at the end of the show. Oh, and by the way, there's one more surprise before the show. Kenny's brought a little something else as well that I'm very excited to show you. Also, I'm going to announce next week's guests in just a moment. Very excited about that. You also, you know what? I forgot to bring any party poppers. I always screw up. Everyone else has them though. I'm the host. I don't need party poppers. I'm happy enough as it is. Next week's guests on the show will be back at our regular night. Thursday we did it at a slightly different night to accommodate our guests. Next week we're back at our regular Wednesday night. July 29th, 7 p.m. Pacific. And we've got a really, really interesting selection of guests. I think you're going to like this one. A little bit different, but really, really cool and interesting. Justin Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty, will be here. Not just the creator of Rick and Morty, but of course the voices of Rick and Morty. And yes, that is the headshot that he demanded I use. They sent me a perfectly nice one. They sent me a perfectly nice professional-looking one, and then he got on the email chain and said, "Don't use that. I insist you use this one instead." And that's now what you get. Susan Orlean, New York Times best-selling author of The Orchid Thief, which is, I'm sure you know, was made into the Nicolas Cage movie adaptation by Charlie Kaufman. And she's written several other amazing New York Times bestsellers as well. Very, very accomplished author, and recently achieved virality by getting drunk and basically telling all of her family to go fuck themselves on Twitter, which everyone, including me, just thought was wonderful. And I thought I gotta get her on the show. And so she'll be joining us next week as well. And then a very, very talented band out. Oh, here's Leah. Leah just decided to show up at the end. Why not? She works as hard on the show as anyone else, and she deserves her place in the spotlight. Very, very talented band, 4-piece band out of Canada called the Elwins will be playing on the show as well. So that's next week's show. Justin Roiland, Susan Orlean, and the Elwins. Very, very excited about that. Adam has busted out the big fish. That's, what can I tell you? That's what he does. We'll be back next week. Again, stick around for the credits. We're doing something a little bit different with the credits this week. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And then, of course, at the end of that, we will raid. But to all my guests, to the incredible. Hey, Adam, do you remember when Brie Larson was on this show like 2 hours ago?
Yeah, I remember
that. Was pretty awesome.
Oh, that was cool.
Brie Larson, Dr. Lupo, Kenny Fong, and Friskk, and of course to everyone who helps me make the show, Adam Nickerson, my wife Leah Whitta, Kate Stark, all of our mods, and also some of Lupo's and Kate's mods who came along to help out tonight, because we anticipated it would be a big show, and it was. They've done tremendous work in the chat tonight. Let's see some mod love emotes in the chat.
And the Order of the Sunfish.
And the Order of the Sunfish. Yes, don't forget. You'll see us all again. Me and Adam, at least, and Shannon, and Cypher, and Brian Gray, Urban Bohemian, Dungeon Crossing, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons inside Animal Crossing. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/GWhitta. All of the full episodes are archived there, along with clips, highlights, things like the Kenny Fong music videos and the KK Slider covers that he brought along. They'll all be going on the YouTube channel. Please do give us a subscription. We're really trying to grow that channel. I'm going to leave you with something that I'm really Kenny brought this. And if you liked the opening theme, the video that he did, my goodness, I think you're going to like the closing theme. I'm going to mute the jukebox. I'm going to mute Discord here just so that we can get clean audio as we play out the end credits here. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who came to watch the show tonight, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Well, don't forget, we're going to raid at the end of the credits. But before we do that, let's play the credits. Here's Kenny Fong one more time. What'd I tell you? I told you it was going to be good. Not kidding around. I am going to raid someone. Okay, I got it right here. Stick with me. Hope you really enjoyed the show tonight. That was one of the better ones we've done. Really, really enjoyed that. Like I said, all that music will be up on the YouTube channel after the show. Both of those music videos, Kenny's KK slider covers. Yeah, it's all there. So youtube.com/GWhitta is where you want to be. We do have a raid target for you. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna hit my raid button, and we're gonna head over there. Just give me 1 second. We'll be in the chat on the other side. Let me just make sure I've got it. Yeah, she's playing Animal Crossing New Horizons for 6 people. She's about to be playing it for a whole lot more than that. Let's get as many people over there onto the other side of the raid as possible. Please say hello on behalf of Animal Talking and be nice. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you and good night. See you next week.